I think there's one thing that all toddler parents can agree on, and that is that toddlers are wild. So a couple of years ago, I was washing dishes after dinner, and all of a sudden, I looked to go put a plate or something in the dishwasher, and my littlest was butt naked trying to climb into the dishwasher. I don't know how this happened, right? Full-blown birthday suit in the dishwasher. Where does diaper go? I don't know. Some people would say that a child taking their diaper off is a sign that you should start potty training ASAP. But that is just simply not true. So let's debunk that today. I have spent years and years potty training, and when my toddler was walking through the house butt naked, it did not cross my mind that I need to potty train him. He just was not ready for it. And I knew that because I know that there are certain readiness signs and skills to keep an eye out for, and what is most important when it comes to getting ready to potty train your child. First, I want you to take a deep breath. You don't have to jump into potty training tomorrow just because your toddler started taking off their diaper. So let's talk about some reasons that your toddler might be taking off their diaper. Toddlers are at a stage where they are learning all about cause and effect. You know those little toys that your kid presses the button and it makes a song, or there's a ball and they put it in the ball and it goes down a little tube. Those are all cause and effect toys. The reason these are so fun for toddlers is because they really are at this stage where their brain is taking in all of this information. So when it comes to their diaper and they realize that they can rip these little tabs off and then their diaper falls off, they're playing into this whole cause and effect phenomenon that they're learning. So that can definitely be a reason that your toddler is taking off their diaper. Not because they don't like the way it feels, not because they need to jump into potty training, but just because they're playing around with cause and effect. I'm pretty sure with my son, when he took his diaper off and climbed into the dishwasher, he was just playing around with this cause and effect. Another thing that could have happened is it happened by accident. Maybe he had a loose diaper because it was a little bit full and it just fell off. Like, it maybe wasn't even him taking the diaper off. It also could have been that he did intentionally take it off because he just happened to touch the tabs, pull them off, and was experimenting, and then he realized he could do that. So it kind of became a game for him himself that he was proud of. Now, what could have happened from that point and why I had a toddler taking his diaper off after this scenario is he got this fun game out of it, right? I gave him some attention because I had to chase him around and I was like, whoa, why is your diaper off? He thought that was hilarious. So at that point, it kind of became a game for him. Kids love games, kids love fun. So he was having a field day with this game where I take my diaper off and mom thinks it's hilarious. Or mom doesn't think it's hilarious, but he thought it was hilarious, and he just thought it was hilarious that I didn't think it was hilarious. Toddlers, right? Another reason that your toddler could be taking off their diaper is because they don't like the way that it feels. It could just be the diaper itself. Maybe the tabs are itchy or bothering their sweet little baby delicate skin, or maybe they are just really not fond of the feeling of the diaper itself, whether it's dry, whether it's wet and soiled. They might just not like that feeling. If your toddler doesn't like that feeling, again, that's a sign that they're noticing this feeling of a wet or dirty diaper, but not necessarily a sign that you need to potty train them. Another thing that could be happening is maybe your child has a little diaper rash, and the feeling of having their diaper on just really makes that discomfort go to a whole nother level. So these are all reasons that your toddler may be interested in taking their diaper off, but it doesn't necessarily indicate that you need to start potty training them tomorrow. You don't. You don't have to start potty training just because your child starts taking their diaper off. But there are readiness skills that you do want to keep in mind to help you decide if it is time to get started with potty training. I personally know from experience of potty training kids for over a decade that readiness skills are far more important than readiness signs. These readiness signs kind of indicate that your child may have some interest in getting started with potty training, or maybe they're just playing with their diaper. But the readiness skills are the things that you really want to make sure your child knows how to do before you get started with potty training to have the best chance of potty training success. There's 4 must-do potty training readiness skills that I always keep in mind before I start potty training a child. And 2 of those readiness skills are following simple instructions. If you have a toddler, you know that toddlers don't love following your instructions. But what I'm talking about is if they are able to follow simple instructions. Do they understand what those simple instructions mean? And then another one is that they can communicate their wants and needs. Again, they're not always going to use that communication. Their communication can look like a wide range of things, but what we're looking for is that they have the skill to communicate with a parent, a caregiver, a nanny, a babysitter, their teacher, that they can communicate those basic wants and needs to those other people. Those are 2 of the readiness skills that I want you to make sure you're considering before you start potty training your child. But there are 4. And there's also a few other considerations, readiness signs and skills to consider as well before you get started with potty training. If you check out the link in the description, you can get your free readiness checklist to help you decide if it is time for you to start potty training your child. So now you're probably wondering, my child is taking off their diaper. You're telling me that you shouldn't potty train them yet. I need to consider different potty training signs and skills. But what do I do right now? My child is taking off their diaper. I got you. So there's a few things that you can do to solve this diaper scenario. And while I say solve, you might not solve it completely because toddlers be toddlers, but you can kind of get a better handle on it. So one thing that you can consider is footy pajamas. They're so cute. Our kids look adorable. They also help keep a diaper on because they're just harder to get off, harder to get access to that diaper. Your kid has to be Houdini to figure this one out. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I've had some Houdini kids that I've worked with that have figured it out. One little trick that you can try if you have a Houdini on your hands is turn that onesie around so that the zipper is in the back. You may still have a kiddo that can figure out how to get out of this, but it does make it that much harder for them to figure out how to get it off and how to take that diaper off. Another thing that you can try if you don't want your little one in footy pajamas all day long is a jumper or an overall. Same kind of idea. Your child is in a piece of clothing that is just a little bit harder for them to get to that diaper. You could also have success with just regular clothes, but if your kid is anything like mine, they will figure out how to get their shorts off and then that diaper too. If your child has sensitivity to the feeling of the diaper or you suspect that they may, it could be worth considering a different diaper brand. Maybe that diaper that they have been using is just a little bit uncomfortable, or maybe they're growing out of the size that they're in. Sometimes even diapers that pull on and off can be a little bit more comfortable than the diapers that have the tabs, since those tabs can kind of get a little itchy if they make contact with the skin. Another thing that you could try if your child is uncomfortable with a wet or dirty diaper is just trying to keep a close eye so that when they do pee or poop in their diaper, you go ahead and just do a diaper change as quickly as possible. I know this isn't always feasible and could be not the most cost-effective solution, but if you are dealing with struggles where your child is consistently taking their diaper off when it gets wet or dirty, you can just try to change it as soon as possible to help relieve that scenario where they may be taking off a dirty diaper and then you're dealing with a dirtier situation. One other thing that you can try, especially if your little one has figured out that this whole diaper coming off situation is a really funny, hilarious game, is you really want to decrease the thrill for them, okay? That thrill factor is high. They think that this is the bee's knees, the best game that they've ever come up with in their whole little tiny life. Like, they've never even come up with a game and now they have one. So we gotta decrease that fun when it comes to them taking off their diaper if it has become a problem. So if you do notice that your child has taken off their diaper, I want you to take a deep breath and stay calm. I want you to tell your child that they need to come with you to get a new diaper on in whatever way that you guys would typically do that, but keep it chill. We don't want them to think that they are getting into this game of chase, right? Don't start chasing them. You want to kind of get to them calmly. Get them to the place where you're changing their diaper. It may even be helpful to just change their diaper right where you are. Don't make a big deal about the fact that they're naked. Don't make a big deal about the fact that, they might pee on you. Just try to calmly change their diaper. Once their diaper is on, you can try to redirect them to something to play with that they really love. Something that is fun for them to kind of bring their minds to something else. If you just change your diaper and you carry on, chances are they might take it back off. So try to redirect them to something that they like to do, and you could even engage with them so they see, I can get attention for this fun thing that I'm doing with mom that isn't taking off my diaper, right? We're now like shifting their attention to something fun that's not this game of diaper on and off. If your child is still having trouble keeping their diaper on, or you're able to redirect them, but then they keep bringing their attention back to this diaper on and off game, you could try giving them lots of attention and praise for keeping their diaper on. So instead of bringing the attention towards, don't take your diaper off, don't take your diaper off, don't take your diaper off, try to shift your language to where you're telling them exactly what they're doing well. Oh, you're keeping your diaper on. I love when you keep your diaper on. Or if that is not your style, you could say it in a way that feels more comfortable for you, like, hey man, good job, thumbs up for keeping your diaper on. I love it, let's go play this fun game. Trying to redirect them so that their mind is not always on, how do I get attention for taking my diaper off? So if you have a toddler right now that is currently in this phase of taking their diaper off, these are a few things that you can give a try to see if you can help them keep that diaper on. Now, these are not the only things that I want you to make sure that you're considering before you get started with potty training. Your child's potty training readiness is a very important factor before you get started. But what's also really important, and I feel like it gets forgotten far too often, is your readiness to start potty training. You're gonna have to put in the work to potty train your little one, and I want you to make sure that you are feeling ready to jump into this big new experience for everybody. So if your little one is ready and you're feeling like, no way am I ready, not yet, not happening, I am not ready to dive into this, then you don't have to. I promise you're not gonna miss a window, you're not gonna lose out on an opportunity. You will be able to potty train your child when you are all feeling ready. You and your child deserve to have a positive potty training experience. You don't need to head into it feeling stressed. You don't have to feel stressed figuring out if it's the right time to get started. If you want all the potty training information at your fingertips, make sure you hit subscribe and also check out the link in the description for your free potty training readiness checklist, where you can learn all the potty training readiness signs and skills to consider before you get started.